It was about 2 years ago when I actually first saw this in the Lego store, and I was flabbergasted. When I saw this, I knew I had to have it, and you could see it here. The Lego Dinosaur Fossil. I was lucky enough that my husband got it for me for Christmas. And yeah, it wow. I mean seriously, look at it. This is a phenomenal. The box itself is gorgeous. Check the back. They have the dimensions, so it's actually 105 centimeters and 33 centimeters tall. I absolutely love the display. Now, off the bat, the presentation is amazing. I enjoy the box, and it comes with 25 packs of Lego. Now, some packs bigger than others, and to be honest with you, as we got later on into the packs, they actually got less and less pieces, but more and more detail. Now, nice packaging with the box, nice reusable cardboard packaging, which I appreciate. I wish all the packs came with the same kind of cardboard packaging like what you get in European Lego. I think that's one of the key differences, but yeah, same plastic packaging that comes with the American version of Lego, but say what, right? So we get straight into pack 1, and in this pack and the next couple packs is where we actually build the base that the T-Rex stands on. Now, this base is rigid. That's one good thing about it. I was kind of paranoid when I first actually got this set that that it would tip over, it would break. It's like above 3,000 pieces, I believe, in this Lego set. So the whole concept of putting it on display and then potentially having it just crash and break was a big paranoia for me, right? But yeah, it came with a very sturdy base. The pieces fairly simple, and what I did with this set compared to pretty much any other set I usually build. So usually with me with Lego, bust the pack open and I just kind of pick and choose. I would put it in a little container box and I would just pick and choose pieces and do a manual search. But because this Lego set in particular came with a lot of pieces that were repetitive, a lot of the same pieces that you had to kind of refer to, it was a lot simpler for me when I opened each pack to actually sort the pieces out according to the type of pieces, because like I said, there were a lot of pieces that repeated, so it made for a more convenient and faster build, me taking the time to actually sort out each piece before and sort them into the little piles, and then just take it from there. So that was pretty good. Now, as you can see, my outfit changes pretty often and I do not always look pristine and clean, because what I did with this set, because it's like 25 packs and it's such a long build, so to speak, I broke it up. I didn't sit down in one day and do this entire build, because honestly, I feel like I would get tired, I would get fed up, and that would have made me a little bit bored of the set. So what I did was, every day I would build a pack or two depending on how the progress went, and I would put together the pieces. Now, one thing to note, right? If you notice those little posts there, right? Pay attention to the direction the posts were in, because what happened to me is that when I finished building this entire thing and I was actually ready to, after I secured the two posts in and mounted them up and had this nice rigid sturdy structure, I realized I put in one of the pieces back for front, and that was a little painful. Kind of sorry I didn't record the painstaking process it took to take apart the pieces and then put them back together, but all in all, I did manage to do it. Now, yeah, this is just the main body of the dinosaur. I would be lying if I said I didn't start getting a little bit of anxiety with the sheer size of it, but honestly, the back of the Lego box, and actually generally online you could find the dimensions of it, I believe is 105 centimeters long, and the height, can't remember the height, but anyway, the point is I had pre-measured the area, so I knew that the T-Rex would fit in the area, but Jesus Christ, it was a lot bigger in a sense, having it on my desk there, a lot bigger than I anticipated it to be. But no regrets. So like I said, a lot of repetitive pieces, a lot of pieces that kind of look the same, so you had to pay a little bit of attention when you're building it. strongly suggest you use light because honestly the shades of brown could have gotten a little confusing. There was actually one time that I thought I was short of a piece, only to realize that I had actually put in a light brown piece where a dark brown piece was supposed to be. So just, you know, keep your eyes open for things like that. So things coming to come, as you could see here by pack 10, you could basically see most of the spine and, you know, building the base there. When I tell you, I enjoyed this build so much. Even though, I'll be honest, to me, one of my fears about a Lego set like this, where a lot of the pieces are similar, one of my biggest fears would be that I would get bored of the build, as in I would just be like, oh, I would do this again, you know, the same motion, the same repetitive motion again and again. I didn't feel that way. It might be, like I said before, because I broke up the build and I didn't do it all in one day. The only two things that I would say was a little repetitive was doing the two legs, because it was pretty much the same actions that you had to do for the both legs. But to be honest, it wasn't that complex or taking that long a build. So basically I finished a leg in a one session and next leg in a next session. Or mounting the legs, boy, it take a little bit of therapy, because ever so often when I was mounting in the legs, you kind of put some force on the top of the spine and then another piece will go flying out. But you know what, I quickly learned the technique in how to do it, how to be gentle with the dinosaur body. And the good thing is each leg actually locked into the base. So when you put the leg in, you actually had different pieces to lock it into the base. So that was pretty good. My fears as I went along in the build, my fears of this just tipping over and breaking got less and less and less. So that was a big relief, because Dread, you don't want to put so much work into a Lego and then have it just cant over and kill kitty, and that'll be it. That's just it. Lego done. Anyway, so like I said, where am I building here? I am building the second leg here. So yes, like I said, this part little slightly repetitive, but very fun to actually put it in, and especially that the click, when you click that into the joint, satisfying. No way else to describe that. And then in the end, you just actually take this little screw and lock it into place. So you can see we're having a very precise build and making sure that you don't miss any parts and making sure that you don't like slip and do anything wrong. You could see how it is extremely important with this set, right? This is a rib cage. These ribs was a little bit of therapy, because if you touch certain parts of them, they're just kind of falling off. But all in all, I do anticipate playing with this set and touching up the set too much. This was the little T-Rex hands. This was kind of dorky and kind of fun to put in, but his little itty bitty hands, his little T-Rex hands. And again, this is kind of snap into place, and it's so precise. Like, Lego is so precise and so fun to do. I just, I can't describe the joy I get. Putting the scene, like I say, was a little bit of therapy. 1 or 2 times when I put it in, like, pew, piece just like kind of fly out. So that's the end of pack 16. So on to pack 17 now. Right, so pack 17, this is where 17 is where we finish out the tail, I believe. Little repetitive, but again, pieces got smaller and smaller, so it was kind of fun, and the build actually went quicker and quicker, and you lock each piece down with a little I don't know what it's called, but like a little piece there. So the cool thing is the tail, by the time you finish, the tail actually articulated. So you can kind of curve the, not ridiculously articulated, but the point is you can kind of curve the tail to make it fit into your space in a nice, a more niche kind of way. So that's pretty awesome and pretty nice of the Lego set, so to speak. It makes it a lot more authentic and a lot more fun to display and a lot more fun to build. So here, last piece, look at that, check it out. The clicks when you snap in that Lego piece and then you actually put in the bolt at the top of it, it is so absolutely satisfying. There is absolutely no other way to describe it but satisfying. Okay, look at that. This is a big boy. I can't even begin to describe how much of a big boy this dinosaur is. I knew the dimensions, and I knew he was a big boy getting into this, but seeing this dinosaur come to fruition and like putting it together piece by piece, oh my god, it just is amazing. All right, so into pack 20 now in pack 20 to 24, that's where we build the head of the T-Rex itself. this was cool. This was cool to see how they shape up, you know. So there's the lower jaw, and then you just kind of build it up to the upper jaw. I honestly, as I was building it, I was kind of like, I'm not sure what I'm building, but as I went along, I was like, oh my god, I seen it now. I seen what it is. So this was hype. This was some serious hype. I loved when I get to it, you'll see it, but I loved when I had to put in itty bitty little T-Rex teeth. So cool. I mean, the detailing, look at that. You can actually see the actual dino skeleton coming in there, and the head. You could see that I had a lot of fun building this and seeing it come together, right? It was so good, and this was snapping that lower jaw in. Look at that. You could basically hear the sound effects. Rah! Okay, that was bad. I shouldn't do that. But anyway, putting in the upper teeth. I didn't realize at the time when I took the video, I just needed to twist the top, the front incisors, just twist them in so that they would actually fit. But yes, I did eventually realize that when I actually put them up for display, I was like, oh shoot, I was supposed to just twist that part in. So the head actually goes in, and again it locks, and you put in a little piece, a thingy-mabob, a kind of circular thingy-mabob to hold it into place so that it was nice and sturdy. And finally, last but not least, pack 25. In this pack is where we finished out the base of the T-Rex. We got the minifigures, we got that plate. That plate is gorgeous. And as the final result, he's gorgeous. And it is my favorite part of my room. It completes this section so perfectly. Lego. Thank you so much for making my favorite thing in my room. It was a fantastic build. It is a gorgeous, phenomenal piece. And if you know any dinosaur lover, any Lego lover, this is a piece for you. Laters. Thanks for watching. Bye.